So April is observed as Stress Awareness Month, and the focus is just to raise awareness of stress to the different people in the community, whether it is the workplace, the school, so that they can be aware that stress is something that is very serious and it can affect your physical and your mental health. The focus is to raise awareness of stress and its effect on the body and mind. So the focus is to make the public aware of the effects of stress. So the theme for Stress Awareness Month is Be the Change. And that theme, it focuses on people taking action, not just being aware of stress, but also taking action to try to curtail stress or reduce stress in their lives. And also doing that, it would help them to also take care of, manage their health by taking care of the stress in their lives. So what we plan to do is that the community workers would go to the different workplaces to try to inform the staff as to what to look out for, and know, so that they can know when there's stress and also how to manage the stress. There are several ways of managing stress, and that's why we're talking about take action. For example, they can identify their stressors. What is having you stressed? For example, we know the traffic problem on mornings. You know that if you're in traffic, by the time you get to work, sometimes you're 1 hour in traffic, and by the time you get to work, you're stressed. So what you do? Leave a little earlier. So that is a way of managing stress. You identify, and then you try to manage the stressors. Another thing is that at the end of the month, sometimes people realize, oh, I don't have money, but then we find people that spend extravagantly. So we have to know our limits and know. So these are the different ways you identify the problems. Another way of managing stress is that your thoughts, you try to control your thoughts. Now that is the basis of what they call cognitive behavior therapy. You try to manage your thoughts because, for example, you sometimes what you perceive is not the reality. So you might see somebody watching you and think, oh no, they're against me. And thinking of that, then you have that kind of reaction to the person. But then if you have a different thought, oh, he's probably going through a hard time, then you would ignore that and that would not affect you. So you have to try to control your thoughts and try to get rid of pessimistic thoughts. The other thing you can do is your actions as well. When something happens, different actions for you to manage stress. Try to use positive things like exercise, healthy lifestyle, dieting, and also you can practice relaxation techniques, which would help. So some of the stress symptoms that someone can look out for. Example, there's extreme tiredness, which is one of the first symptoms. You feel very exhausted. Another one is difficulty focusing, difficulty concentrating. Another symptom you can get is like insomnia, which is also one of the first symptoms that people get when they're stressed out. Then there are changes in appetite. It can be increased appetite because some people, when they're stressed, they eat a lot and they gain weight gain. Or it can be the opposite. It can be decreased appetite and weight loss. Sometimes people get angry for no reason. They get hopeless. So there are many symptoms that we can look for in stress. Also, people can feel like they start to feel like their hands can feel sweaty and cold during acute stress. So there are many symptoms that people look for, they can observe. Now it's important in the workplace also to be be your friends or your coworkers keeper, because sometimes you might recognize stress in yourself, but then somebody else might not feel that they stress. So you can maybe recognize that, oh, that person is looking tired today, or that person is isolated socially, and then you can maybe try to intervene, but in a way that is not obvious. So some of the activities we have is that we have the health workers, the community mental health workers, and the health educators. They would be visiting some of the workplaces and some of the schools so that they can speak to, have talks with the employees, and important also to include the managers. People can react differently to stress. Sometimes if it can be a good thing, because sometimes it can cause an individual to take action, and then something positive can come out of it. But when stress is chronic and is prolonged, then it can become a problem for a person. So people need to know and when to take action, when to stop, when to pause. And even in the workplace, there's something they call burnout. When the stress is prolonged and severe, and it can cause the person to feel fatigued, and it can reduce productivity in the workplace. So it is really important for the individuals and the managers as well to recognize the symptoms of stress and then to take action. April is also observed as Autism Awareness Month, and we want to emphasize to the public that autism is also a neurodiversive disorder, and it is people who have autism and their families and their caregivers, they also go through stress. So it's important for acceptance in the community, and also to recognize the contributions, the positive contributions that people with autism have given to the society. We also want to make the public aware that stress can affect different organ systems. For example, it can affect the heart, it can affect the pressure, can cause the blood pressure to go up. It can affect the neurological system. It can affect the immunological system, meaning that it can cause people to, when they are stressed out, to get infections, to be prone to getting infections. And it can also affect the mental health. So it's important for people to be aware of that. Even it can affect an individual, and also it can affect the workplace and organization. So it is important that both individuals and also managers are aware of stress, and also want to let them know different ways and means of managing stress in the workplace, at home, and individually.